Hey, afternoon garage time. So as I said in the last episode, we did a lot of refinishing and that kind of thing, making things look pretty, but it still doesn't run right. So let's do some testing. Start off with some, some vacuum checks and that kind of thing. Make sure we don't have any leaks or anything. Go into fuel flow testing, that kind of thing, fuel pressure testing, and you see exactly what's wrong with this and, well, why it won't idle correctly. First, before we go troubleshoot this, I want to talk about the reliability of these Deloreans. It's not very good, and in fact, this steering wheel didn't fall off. This is a removable steering wheel, but if you've ever watched Back to the Future movie where, the lightning's about ready to strike and the Delorean dies there when it's about ready to accelerate and hit 88 miles an hour?
Circuits on, flux capacitor, fluxing, engine running. All right. No. Not this one. Come on. Here we go. This time, come on. Please, come on.
Well, that's how reliable these cars actually are. So, let's go see if we can fix this thing. Prime the pump. Now I'm going to have to work on the idle circuit. You can see, probably have the same problem that I had before. This is exactly what I have. It's an idle hunting problem. And I have a new one of these idle control valves. We'll stick this in and we'll see how it goes. That's nasty. So here's the suspected part here. This is the idle control valve. Basically, just what it does is it just meters air in there and allows the system to actually adjust the idle speed based on RPM and that kind of thing. And it has a little valve that opens up. So this thing's definitely loose in some way. And what I did was I just put one in there from China. I spent about $30 on this thing. It should be about $150, but that's okay because it's just a test, and we'll see if this thing runs. First, we'll prime the system up and, hope for the best this time, because if it's not this, I really don't know what it would be. Just about got the engine assembled. Checking rest pressure right now. It goes from about 2 bar to about 3.5 bar, which is about right, 30 psi out of 50. So it's looking good. I checked my acceleration enrichment with the control pressure regulator. Everything looks fine. Chasing a small fuel leak over here. Of course, make sure you get all those figured out, and I had to buy new injectors again, so another $350 down the tube, but you know what, things are going to start up this time. Now I had to pull this apart 3 different times. There's nothing in there, but basically what I had to do was figure out the injectors were bad, and none of them were spraying, so I figured out once I put it back together, then I actually had a small little orifice in here that was clogged, so I had to pull it all back apart again, and then glue it all back up, and it seems to be holding right now. Looks pretty good. Alright, there we go. So we'll plug this in. A big leak around here. So we're going to have to find out what that is. Looks like it's the connector to the cold start valve, huh?
15 minutes later.
Alright, put a hose clamp on this side, so getting a little bit coming out of the electrical connector. That's kind of strange. Yay! The hand says it's good.
A few minutes later.
You want to make sure your fans turn on. Looks like those are working fine. There we go, right there. That's right where you want it. Alright, so the CO is adjusted. It's idling kind of high. It's like, I don't know, 800, 900 RPM. It should be much lower than that. This would probably be good for an automatic transmission, but this is a manual. It's supposed to be much lower. Not quite sure why all that is. Maybe it has something to do with the idle speed motor control. I have another one from Dave McKean, who is a guy who makes aftermarket stuff for Deloreans, and he sent me another one, and I'm probably going to try that later. But this thing has been off the road for so long, I think I just want to get it out and drive it at this point. You hear the fans turning on. You can see my dwells between 15 and 20, and by the way, that's for that Actron scope too, and it's also just measuring based off of a 4-cylinder, so you kind of have to cut that in 2/3 or something like that because it's not quite accurate. But I know that if you use this piece of equipment in between 15 and 20, that's kind of what you want it to swing, and you can see that was happening. So overall, I'm pretty happy.
1 week later.
So I actually took the car out, took it off the lift, drove it around, actually took it to a car show, one Best Import that was pretty good. And well, now it's back on the lift because what happens is when it warms up, it idles around like 1,000 or 1,200. And of course you can hear that loping it did before. And that's what it does pretty much on a cold start. Sits there and wavers up and down until it gets really warm, and then it idles about 1,500 RPM. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. I'm going to find out what this is once and for all. This problem has been going on forever, and like I said, I usually just unplug the idle air control at some point for some reason. It seemed to work better that way, and I used to be able to drive it. Now I want to fix it for good. Okay, now I want to check my catalytic converter because I suspect it's blocked up, and this is a good way to do it. Here's a pressure gauge. This is a 0 to 15 PSI gauge, and I screwed it right onto my compression tester. You got to make sure to take the Schrader valve off the bottom or it won't work at low pressures. But, well, let's hook this thing up and see how much back pressure we get. If we get anything like 2 or 3, that's going to be too much. That's just fine. That was a waste of time, so let's move on to something else. All right, now I'm going pin for pin on this thing. I'm tracing all the wires back, and I'm going to load them down a little bit. But I noticed that this is an oxygen sensor, this blue one here, and it comes in on what would be pin 2, and then the shield or the ground, which is important that it's connected. It's connected behind the intake manifold, is pin number 4. Let's go check the book and see if that's what it says. And here's the workshop manual. You can see that U is blue here. So number 4 is blue and number 2 is B, which is black. So it looks like these two wires are reversed. I don't know if that's important. So I look online and I see that some people say to check the, check what kind of voltage you have on pin 2 of the ECU. Well, that would be a ground. That grounds directly to the engine block. So I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to start making phone calls and find out if this is actually a problem in the diagram. I do have a schematic over here, and it shows kind of that it's pin 2 maybe. I don't know. It's really hard to see. But it'd be nice to have a pin out to this that's different to that so I can, compare it. Because it looks like it's backwards to me. All right, well, I want to smoke test once again. See, I put some Goodyear rubber on here, a real nice tight seal around the sensor plate. There, you see that'll blow up and we'll start to look for leaks. And you can see down here, these injector seals are still leaking out of there. See that? That's flowing pretty good out of the side there. And up here still got a problem. That's a bad one. Alright, fix those two. Try it again. Alright, so down in here, I have that leaky injector, so I have a representation of it here, and I think what I'm going to do is it's kind of it's really sloppy in there, so I think I'm going to take some Teflon tape, and I'll just go around the base like this a few times, and see if I can tighten it up a little bit. I can't really think this is going to be oil resistant, and I don't think it'll come apart and get inside of there, but need something to tighten this up a little bit. Yeah, see, it's still way loose down inside of there. So what I have here is I have, it's called pink plumber's tape, and it's really thick. It's for sealing busted threads and stuff like that. If you got something that's cross-threaded, this will be able to seal water. It's really nice and heavy, and see if I can go around this a few times and seal those up. All right, I got the smoke test going again. Of course, we got a little bit of smoke out of there, and out of the top there, and nothing down there, and fix that. So that was kind of a big problem over here. So I used like 5 wraps of that really thick Teflon tape. Seemed to fix all those leaks. You can see how that sensor plate's pushing out there. Yeah, I don't really see anything bad. Oh, there's something bad back here a little bit. I'll have to look into that. Nothing big though. Oh, it's coming out of the crankcase. Alright. It's pretty good. Try to start it.
Several months later.
That sounds pretty good.
A few minutes later.
Alright, well you heard that idle. It kind of lopes there, and then when it warms up, it idles about 1700 RPM. I'm going to try it again one last time, and it's about time to kick this thing out of here. I started on this car January of this year, hoping that I would be able to get it in here, maybe do a 2 or 3 week, rebuild on the intake system, and well, that didn't work at all. So I've got quite a lot of advice and people trying to offer to help me, be it in repair shops and that kind of thing, and they always kind of give me the same thing. They tell me to, measure the sensors. There's a 10K ohm sensor in the valley. Of course, I've been all through that. There's the thermal valve that switches, something definitely happens from the time that it switches over from the control pressure regulator to the distributor advance, and have that little switch in there. Everything works great. I'm blowing and sucking on vacuum tubes. Everything seems to be working just fine. So I think it's about time to kick this thing out of here and work on something else. Sorry I haven't really been making too many videos, but like I said, started on this thing in January, and here we are in November, December time frame, and still, well, no success. But if you know something I may have overlooked, give me a comment in the comment section. Maybe I've overlooked something. Hey, if you get anything out of this, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't. Well, gonna be doing something else completely different this time. That's kind of where the idle wants to be. It's not that bad. It's actually very drivable. Well, we'll see.